All right, and we're live. Okay. So this week we covered Chapter 2 on macroeconomics, and we all were supposed to complete our group quiz. Do you all have that with you right now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Cool deal. If anyone would like to go and preside over this and take the burden off my hand, you are all more than welcome. So I'll give you a moment to figure out if you want to do that.
I did it last week, so I vote someone else takes a turn.
I'll do it. Good grief.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
I can do it next week, I think.
I just take no responsibility for whether my answers are correct, okay? So
That's okay.
Your son is in the same class as you. You should already have the answers. Come on.
I know, right? Actually, he's been kind of lame this week. So he's actually listening in on our group because he was unable to attend his group. So he's just kind of hanging back and joining. Okay, so let's go over this quiz.
Okay.
So the first question says, consumers express self-interest when they, and I picked seek the lowest price for a product.
That's what I put as well.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
It's unanimous?
Yep.
Perfect. Question 2, I had a question mark on, so we'll see what you guys said. Which of the following statements about markets and prices is correct? In a market system, buyers and sellers must be in face-to-face contact with each other. Prices affect the distribution of goods in a market system, but not the allocation of resources. In a market system, prices serve to ration goods and services to consumers. And the last one, the operation of a market system has little, if any, effect on the distribution of income in the economy. I wasn't really sure, but I went with D. I went with the last one.
I was between B and D. I wasn't sure.
Same.
Okay. The only reason I crossed B off was because I thought prices did affect the allocation of resources. I thought that, but I had a question mark on it, so I am open to someone else.
Well, I was thinking that it's kind of like, although the price determines how much something is, it doesn't affect how much of the resource is going towards that thing.
Okay. Okay.
So for that one, it would be B, right?
If that's correct, yes, it would be B.
Okay.
And I was just up in the air about that one completely. So.
But does prices also refer to resource prices? That's my question.
Well, that's the part that I had a question about. I just wasn't sure what that last little piece of that statement meant. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
I wonder if I can get the textbook back up while we go through the rest of the quiz, and maybe we can come back to it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's keep number 2 as a question, and we can come back to it. So 3, all of the following statements describe a market economy except, and I chose A, but I could be very wrong.
A sounds like a command market to me, or a command economy.
A command economy. Right.
Yeah.
And the rest sounded like a market economy, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So A on number 3?
Yep.
Okay. A production system where various workers concentrate on different specialized tasks to contribute towards a whole product is referred to as, and I put D, division of labor.
That's what I have as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Same here.
Okay. So number 5, which of the following is necessary to make a trade in a barter economy? And I went with D on that one.
Which
A
one?
condition, a coincidence of wants.
Okay, me
For
too.
a barter, yes.
Oh.
I went with the medium of exchange on that one.
That
With
one,
what?
Ooh.
Well, I think one thing about the barter system is that it's hard to do because you have to find someone that wants what you have and that also has what you want. So that's why I think it's D.
The coincidence of want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, okay, now I see it. Yeah, never mind. I was rereading that. My bad.
Well, no, you would still need some sort of currency in like a market system, but if you're doing just trade and barter, you would have to coincide with someone else's wants.
Okay, cool. I get it now. Thank you. Sorry.
Perfect. So number 5 is D. 6, economic systems differ from one another based on who own the factors of production and I went with B on that one.
That's what I went with as well.
Okay.
me too.
Everybody went with that same one?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Number 7, one major element of the command system is, and I went with D, central planning conducted by the government.
Yeah. That's what I would go with too.
Same here. That's what I put.
Yep.
What about you, William? Thumbs up? Yes, okay. So number 8, the government may impose industrial safety regulations and occupational licensing requirements in which of the following economic systems. And I went with C.
That's what I did, but it was
Yeah,
kind
same
of
here.
because it seemed the least wrong. So,
Yeah.
Well, to be truthful, I couldn't remember what the definition of pure capitalism was, but I thought it was the laissez-faire economy. Is that what you're
Yeah.
remembering? So I was like, okay, those are the same thing, and I don't think it would be the macroeconomic system. So anyway, yeah, I thought that was the obvious answer.
I thought laissez-faire was like the pure competition economy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be without really government regulating it.
But
Exactly.
that
So
would be
then
pure
pure capitalism is the opposite, where the government is fully controlling everything. Is that right?
I
Right.
thought pure capitalism was is that what the command system is? Yeah, is that communism or socialism? Is pure capitalism? I thought that was the opposite.
No, I need to check now. I'm not sure. Hold on.
Well, that's what a capitalist would be, I think.
Let's see. Okay. For me, it says and I'm going to say it wrong, the laissez-faire capitalism, it's pure capitalism, and that is where the government's role would be limited to protecting private property from theft and aggression and establishing a legal environment in which contracts would be enforced and people could interact in markets to buy and sell goods, services, and resources.
So does that
command-
include like occupational licensing? Because maybe it is laissez-faire economy then.
Well, hold
Well,
on.
the
I
government-
think that's a little too much control for laissez-faire, so
Yeah,
like
Well, and
they
then
basically just want to keep everybody safe.
right.
sure.
Right.
Now the command system is a little bit different. It just says it's where the government owns most of the property resources and economic decision making is set by a central economic plan created and enforced by the government. So it's communism and everything. And let's see. Also the laissez-faire capitalism, it also right next to it in quotations puts pure capitalism. So A and B are the same thing.
So that was the reason I was like, it must be mixed market, because if laissez-faire and pure capitalism are the same, then I don't think that we would be able to select both options.
No,
Just
we
to-
wouldn't. That's why I think it would be C, only because macroeconomics, that's just a study of everything as an aggregate, and A and B are essentially the same things.
Okay,
So I went with A.
Just to clarify, there's pure capitalism and pure command.
Let's see. Pure capitalism is the laissez-faire capitalism, and then the command system is more or less socialism or communism. That's where the government controls everything. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
I was confused because I always think the United States is not a capitalist economy, but ideally it was supposed to be.
I think capitalism is trying to be alive and well in the U.S. I think it depends on who our current commander-in-chief is.
Well, I own a business, and let me tell you, it is not a capitalist for sure. There's a lot of regulations.
See, I know, but it's not communism, thank goodness. Own it. So we're going to say C on number 8.
Okay.
So number 9, I also had a question mark on this one. Which of the following would not be emphasized in a capitalist economy? And I went with D, but like I said, I had a question mark. So prevention of owners of capital from exposing this resource to risk.
That's also what I went with, as I put D as well for that one.
Okay, so D. Okay. Anybody have any questions or other opinions?
Nope.
Okay. All right, number 10. Which of the following is not one of the 5 fundamental questions that an economy must deal with? And on that one, I went with B. Why should the goods and services be produced?
Same here. That's what I put as well.
Okay. All right, number 11. Consumer sovereignty and dollar votes guide the market system in dealing with which fundamental economic question? I went with A on that one. Which output will be produced? Okay.
Okay, wait, go back to 10. What did you say it was?
10 is, what is it?
B. Why
B.
should the goods and
Yeah,
services be produced?
Okay, for a sec I thought you guys said D, and I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
No, B as in boy.
Okay.
B as in boy. Yes, and 11 is A as in apple. Okay, number 12. Which of the following guides sensible decisions regarding the management of business risk in a market system? And I went with A, the profit and loss system.
Same here. I went with that as well.
Okay.
Me too.
All right.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Do we have Ariel with us still?
Yeah, I was just trying to get the textbook up, so
Okay.
I wasn't paying very good attention. Sorry.
We can go back and help you with whatever you missed, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I think I've mostly kept up. I'll try to catch back up while you guys continue.
All right. So question 13. In the circular flow model of the market system, households, and I went with C, buy products and sell resources.
Me too.
Same here.
Okay. 14, the circular flow model illustrates, and on this one I went with D, the interdependence of business and consumers.
I went with that one as well.
All right. Number 15, in the circular flow model, households earn their incomes in, I went with A, the resource markets.
Same here.
Yep.
All right. Number 16, one basic problem faced by central planners but hardly present in a market system has to do with, and I went with C, coordinating production of various industries so that bottlenecks do not develop.
I'm not sure if I understood it right, just for with what I had read, but for that one I put A, determining the production goals or targets in a factory.
I
I
also
don't.
went with A.
Okay, I almost went with A, but then when I went and actually looked in the textbook, that was included in the information under the coordinating problems heading. So that's why I thought we were dealing with a coordinating production problem. But I'm up for anybody else's opinion on that one.
Yeah, I would go with C too, just for the same reasons.
I actually went with C too.
C as well.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? Should we stick with that, or do you think should we look into that further and make sure that
Let's see.
I'm
we're
not
understanding that concept?
I just don't remember there being anything about bottlenecks.
It's in the textbook right underneath
Yeah.
that heading saying coordinating production,
Mm-hmm.
and it's down towards the bottom of that content in those paragraphs.
Which section was that under in chapter 2, if you don't mind me asking? Do you remember?
I can't remember. Can you name the sections for me? I don't have my textbook up in front of me.
There's economic systems, characteristics of the market system, 5 fundamental questions, the invisible hand, the circular flow model, how the market system deals with risk, and then the chapter 2 ending. So I'm trying to see if maybe I can find it in the text.
I think it's in I think it's the last 3.
Last 3, okay.
Doesn't help at all.
Because I have the textbook.
You've got the textbook up?
Yeah.
Just look at all of them to see if you can see something that says
I'm trying to look it up as well.
coordination problems, coordination production
Yeah,
problems.
it's in the invisible hand.
Oh, it's in the invisible hand.
The invisible hand? Okay. Let's see.
And you
Lies of the command systems, okay.
Bottlenecks and production stoppages become the norm, not the exception. And coordination problems became more difficult as the economies expanded, products and production processes grew more sophisticated, and the number of industries requiring blending techniques that worked for a simpler economy proved highly inadequate and inefficient for larger economy. Bottlenecks and production stoppages became the norm, not the exception. Trying to cope with planning further, or in trying to cope, planners further suppressed product variety, focusing on 1 or 2 problems.
Ariel, is that a gaming headset?
I'm not a gamer, but a friend bought this for me, so.
That's awesome. You look so official.
It's way better than just trying to use the computer speakers and mic.
Oh.
I feel like it doesn't come out as clear, but
Oh,
yeah,
perfect.
makes me look like a gamer or a call center rep.
Oh boy, that's awesome.
What were the possible?
Okay, so did anybody else take a look at that section? My son was trying to read it, but he's probably not. You probably can't hear him very well.
I read it. I think a lot of it was coordinating the productions in various industries only because, and I will go and I will pull it up real quick. It says, the main part where I find it, it's in 1, 2, 3. The third paragraph on the coordination problem says the coordination problem became more difficult as economies expanded. Products and production processes grew more sophisticated, and the number of industries requiring planning increased. Planning techniques that worked for the simpler economy proved highly inadequate and inefficient for the larger economy. Bottlenecks and production stoppages became the norm, not the exception. In trying to cope, planners further suppressed product variety, focusing on 1 or 2 products in each product category. And going along with that, In the very first paragraph, second sentence, it says, the central planners had to coordinate the millions of individual decisions by consumers, resource suppliers, and businesses. And let's see. They also had to establish a realistic annual production target. For example, just say like 1,000 tractors, and you need to make sure you have all of your available necessary inputs for all the items that you would need to be able to make it. So going along with that for number 16, I honestly believe it would be number C, coordinating production in various industries so that bottlenecking doesn't occur.
Okay, that's how I felt too.
Okay. Sorry, that was like a long-winded explanation.
I'm sticking with C. Okay. Number 17, a characteristic of centrally planned economies is that, and I picked A on this one, the price is relatively unimportant in allocating resources.
I put that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So 17A. 18, which of the following best describes the invisible hand concept? And I went with D on that one. The self-interest in a market system will automatically promote the public interest as well.
Same here.
Me too.
Right out of the definition. Okay. 19, the major virtues of the market system include all of the following except, so the major virtues of the market system include all of the following except it leads to equality in the distribution of income. I went with B.
Same here. I went with that as well.
All right. And last one, 20, the market economy is regarded as efficient in that, and I picked number C, it directs resources towards products that the society wants most.
That's what I have as well.
Me too.
Okay.
So did we decide on number 2?
I don't think so. I think we were going to come back to that one.
I'm trying to remember which section that was in.
Markets and prices was in, it was in the one that was talking about, I think it was talking about self-interest and about, oh my goodness, division of labor and whatever that chapter was. I think that's where it talked about
the characteristics of the market system.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I read it a whole bunch of times, and I still didn't come away with how to answer this question correctly.
Okay, let me reread the question. Prices. Okay.
Hmm.
Can you pull that up on your phone and take a look at it and see what you think?
What's the question?
It's which of the following statements about markets and prices is correct? I think it's in the.
What are the options? Well, I have the
Oh.
market system thing right here. But I don't know.
You need, yeah. So the choices are, in a market system, buyers and sellers must be in face-to-face contact with each other. I say no on that one. Prices affect the distribution of goods in a market system, but not the allocation of resources. That's what one of the choices is that we think it might be. In a market system, prices serve to ration goods and services to consumers. Here, I'll just give you the.
I know that it's not A.
Yeah, that's an easy one to eliminate.
Yeah.
I don't think it's B because prices does include resource prices.
Okay. So then that would leave it down to C or D then. Which one would be the obvious one as to not being the correct answer? between those two.
Well, I didn't C have a, I don't have it in front of me anymore because I gave it to Dylan, but doesn't C have a word in there that implies, read C to me.
It says, in a market system, prices serve to ration goods and services to customers or consumers.
That
Doesn't
ration
sound right.
didn't sound correct to me. It sounded like communism.
Yeah.
Rationing goods, they're not going to do that. But I don't know.
Well, D kind of makes sense because income really does have nothing to do with the operation of the market.
That's true.
Yeah, and it doesn't talk about income really at all in here. The only thing that kind of alludes to income in this section is it says, those who respond to market signals and heed market dictates are rewarded with greater profit and income. Oh, it does say income. Those who do not respond to those signals and choose to ignore market dictates are penalized. Through this mechanism, society decides what the economy should produce, how production can be organized efficiently, and how the fruits of production are to be distributed among the various units that make up the economy.
So does that mean it's society, not the market system, that is deciding the income distribution?
Well, society is like what makes up the market system. So in economics, they're almost one and the same.
They're just talking about an effect.
Huh?
They're not saying that it controls it. They're just saying it has an effect.
Has an
on it.
effect, yeah.
So it's not D.
It's not what?
It's not D.
It's not D? Okay.
So it's not B? Okay.
Well, that's, according to Dylan, it's not D.
It has an effect. So
that paragraph says that there is an effect?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I want to go with C, but then the word ration is what's throwing me off too.
And I think that's what was throwing me off. And I didn't see anywhere in the text, in the reading, where it used that kind of verbiage. I was just like, ration's kind of a big, like it's an important word, and I think that it would be used in the textbook if it was a concept that...
What is the technical definition of ration anyway?
I don't know.
Let's see.
I wonder if there's a different definition as far as economists go.
Maybe.
Could be.
The decision made on each side of the market determine a set of product and resource prices. So it determines.
Is that what ration is?
Well, no, I don't know.
Oh,
It sounds kind of like rationing.
yeah.
Like guide resource owners, entrepreneurs, blah blah blah.
I'm just going to go with C because I think that is the closest.
Okay.
But I guess on that one we may just all have to decide what
What
we're
we
going to
think
do.
is best, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think I'll continue to read a little bit more. Maybe I'll do some additional searches on Google. See what kind of comes back, and if I can feel like I have a more confident understanding of that question.
I think that's a really good idea, but I may or may not have just submitted the quiz, and C may or may not be right.
Okay.
And by that I mean it is right.
It was the right one then, or?
It was, yeah.
Oh, okay then. That's really weird then.
I thought that word threw me off too, but
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I guess ration is a good way to explain the way that resources are allocated, but
Yeah.
It's definitely one that'll make you stop and think.
yeah. Do I actually understand the material?
No. Okay. Good job.
we're
That's all.
supposed to talk about the mind map every meeting, but I don't really know, since it's an individual assignment, I don't know what we're supposed to discuss about it. Do you
Have
guys
you
know?
done?
Mm.
I haven't done it. I mean, I've looked over the terms,
Okay.
but just in the group meeting
Yeah.
description in the
Yeah.
collaboration, it talks about.
Well, the thing about the mind map, at least last week, was for me, a lot of the terms are so interconnected, it's hard to make them
Yeah,
simple
man.
and connect in one way. I feel like there should just be connections all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like that too.
I had a few terms where I had arrows going like all over, like they were pointing both directions and crisscrossing. But
Yeah.
this week was much simpler, just
Yeah.
really because of the fact that we were only doing one chapter's worth of terms rather than
Right.
two. And then this time, what I decided to do is I was doing my reading. I went ahead and did my mind map at the same time.
I
That's
did
a good
too,
idea.
and I
Yeah.
felt like it was way more efficient.
Well, and I think it was so much easier. And then I just and I just used that sample that she showed where you just put like chapter 2 in the center, and then you branch everything off from it. And so as I was going through each of the reading, sections, when there were terms that were nested within terms, then that's how I did them on my mind map as well, as connected them in that fashion. So it went so quick. Like I had my mind map done at the same time as I was finished with my reading. So it was really nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been always trying to do it afterwards, thinking, oh yeah, I'll have it read, or it's like I'll read it and then just kind of connect the dots. But no, that seems much more efficient and easier.
Yeah.
I think I'll be doing that.
Yeah, I read mine and then do it. At least that was my plan this week. And I think, oh, it'll sink in. It'll allow me to understand it. And I think I'm just learning so many new things. I'm like, it didn't sink in. It floated away.
Yeah.
Yep. Same here.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay. I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think
Then
so.
I will go and I will stop the broadcast and make it a video, and then I'll upload it onto the discussion board for the class, and I'll send you all the link. That way you all know it's been done.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
thank you
no
very much. And
Yeah.
so we'll meet again next Thursday at the same time, right?
Yeah.
This will just be our time for the remainder of the semester.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay,
Have a
you
great
guys.
week.
Thank
You too.
you.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Nice mustache, by the way. What did you do for that? Is that under the features that you tried adding?
Yeah, there are just some little effects that you can do. I was
Oh.
going to use some of these. These sound fun.
Yeah, we could have used that one. Nice. Okay, cool. Then I will go ahead and end the little meeting then, if that's okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good one.